as this video is being made, there are certain scientists and intellectuals, people who consider themselves intellectuals, who are complaining that there is a growing anti-intellectual trend in this world, a growing anti-knowledge trend in this world. You know, some even call it anti-science. I mean, these are direct accusations, and there's this common belief that has been spread by certain institutions that people like Donald Trump are the result of this symptom of anti-intellectualism, anti-science. But are these accusations of accusing others of being anti-knowledge by these certain scientists, certain intellectuals, mathematicians, biologists, medical doctors? I mean, they say this was strengthened by COVID. But how does knowledge really work? You know, how does knowledge work? It works in increments. And those increments are difficult to achieve. They are achieved, but they're difficult to achieve. I mean, there are critical levels of knowledge. You know, those are even more difficult than the increments. For example, a critical level of knowledge is discovering a photon or discovering an electron. That is a critical level of knowledge. And then from there, you add increments. You start to understand the properties of this electron. But you need to first get to the critical level and accept that there's an electron. And then you can do stuff with it. Then you add level, or then you say it's got a spin, it's got a charge, you know. But you cannot know if it has a spin if you don't know that it exists. So a spin is an incremental knowledge, even though critical in some aspects, but it's incremental compared to discovering the electron itself. Most of these guys who are complaining about an anti-intellectual thread spreading around, many of them won't even add incremental knowledges, let alone critical knowledges, you know. So that they are claiming, yet they collectively say that there is an anti-knowledge bias growing, an anti-intellectual bias growing. But let us look at their behavior. Let's look at the journal system for a while. How knowledge is dispensed in this age. You go, you write a piece of paper, then you send it to a journal. It is peer reviewed, and then you make some changes here and there, and then it is published. All my papers that are in journals have been peer reviewed, every single one. Now here's the thing. The journals, about 10, 15 years ago, these same people who are calling people anti-intellectual now, they say you cannot go to certain journals because they are pirate journals or something like that, because they charge a fee. Now they have to charge a fee so that they can host your thing on the web and let it out to the whole world. But this guy said, no, because they're trying to keep themselves like an exclusive, the only people who can think. I said, no. But now, 15 years later, they are charging the most for their journals. I mean, this is absolute hypocrisy. It's because they are the anti-intellectuals. Suddenly their journals are now charging $3,000 to get a paper published, to host it on a website. You understand? But when other people were doing it and charging far less, they call them pirates. They call them evil journals, fake journals. But now they've seen that they can host, and they charge extra more to say, oh, no, we are the Rolls Royces, we can charge more. The same people were saying it is evil to charge people. Well, how our website's going to be hosted? Somebody has to pay for those servers. So that's one thing. But it's the same guys who they've moved the goalposts to benefit themselves, but they're calling everybody else anti-intellectual. I mean, when you change goalposts to suit yourself and then you complain that a man like Donald Trump is the symbol of anti-intellectual stuff, no, you are bloody lying. And you know you're lying. You want the whole world just to listen to those you've chosen. And it's not about the truth. It's not about the truth. I'll give an example for myself. Take magnetism. The data explicitly shows something. You know, this is maybe 40, 50 collections of data. Maybe 20. Now what that data shows doesn't agree to what they say. They say magnetism is reduced at a rate of 1 over r cubed. There is no data on this planet that supports that. But because they say it, they're willing to die on a lie. But they will call everybody else anti-intellectual. These are freaking guys at CERN, Harvard, Oxford, all lying that the rate of decline of magnetism is 1 over r cubed. You show them the data, there is no such thing. But they're willing to lie because the experiments were carried out by us and we have shown them the data. So they are the anti-intellectuals because they don't even accept data if it doesn't agree with them. You understand? So they have to stop this nonsense of calling people who don't agree with them anti-intellectual when they themselves are against data. I can assure you, we have shown them how a magnet attracts iron. But they don't care about that because it has to be from one of them. But they'll be calling everybody else anti-intellectual. I mean, what is more anti-intellectual than a liberal? I want you to think about this. They bring down interviews. This also happened to me. They bring down interviews, steal our minds, and give it to themselves. In my case, it was given to a man called Lee Smolin. Because they must be seen as the thinkers. I mean, if you're willing to steal a mind of a Kumalo to look good, and then call everybody else anti-intellectual, you are going beyond evil as a community. You are going way beyond evil. Stop accusing others of what you are, you know? Stealing minds because your mind is mediocre. Oh my God. Who is anti-science, honestly? Who is playing politics with science? Please think about it. These guys are taking you for a ride, calling other people anti-intellectual. Taking everybody for a ride. Science is about results. Nothing but results. It's not about your friendship with the billionaire. It's just about results. But you want it to be about your friendships. I mean, it's incredible. So be careful about these people spreading the lie that everybody else is anti-intellectual. When I'm showing you they are the real anti-intellectuals. When somebody, this is their problem. When somebody, after 5 years of getting a certificate, has produced nothing original, they become gatekeepers. Because they themselves are not good. And then even deny data. And say what they think is better than the data. I mean, for God's sakes, stop confusing people. The heart of anti-intellectualism is the scientific community itself.